So let's talk about the case of Jamaria Sessions, which is a very, very sad case. Let's first talk about her biological mother. Her biological mother passed away in 2022 from complications of leukemia. After Jamaria Sessions' mother passed away, she was cared for by her maternal grandmother, which was her mother's mother. Her and her little sister lived with her mother's mother. After the father, Lawan Sessions, got out of prison, he went to the school where both Jamaria and Jamaria's younger sister attended. He went to their school and got the girls out of school. And from that day forward, they started living with Lawan Sessions and his girlfriend, Ty Shell. Okay? So that's what happened with her biological mother. Now let's talk about the relationship with Lawan Sessions and Ty Shell. Very dysfunctional situation. Evidently, Lawan Sessions was incarcerated because of a drug deal gone bad. On that particular day, not only did he take his own daughter, Jamaria Sessions, but he took Tyshael Martin, which is his girlfriend, and a couple of Tyshael's children on this drug run that he went on. Okay? He wound up in a high-speed car chase, and the car crashed, and he took off running. He left Tyshael and the children, along with his own child, Jamaria Sessions, in the car. This is one of the many reasons why he was incarcerated. So let me give you the living situation that was going on with little Jamaria Sessions. Jamaria Sessions lived with her biological father, Lawan Sessions. Lawan Sessions' girlfriend, Tyshael Martin, who had 4 children of her own. And then Jamaria had a younger sister. They all lived together. For some reason, the younger sister no longer wanted to live with Tyshael Martin and her father, Lawan Sessions. And so she went back to her maternal grandmother. Thank goodness she did, because she would probably be deceased today as well. So now we no longer have the younger sister. We just have Jamaria Sessions. We have Lawan Sessions, the father. We have Tyshael Martin, which is the girlfriend, and her 4 children all living together. During Jamaria's stay there at that home, she was forced to do intense exercise routines. Her father was well aware of what was happening. She was beaten not only by her father, but she was also beaten by Tyshael Martin. And also there was a 103-pound Rottweiler that was the dog of Tyshael Martin. That dog was forced to bite Jamaria while Jamaria lived there at that home. So there is a lot of video footage concerning the activity that Tyshael Martin inflicted on Jamaria, especially when it came to the Rottweiler. There were also text messages between both of the adults, Lawan Sessions and Tyshael Martin, concerning the abuse that they were inflicting on little Jamaria. Let's roll the clip.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.
See all the marks all over her body?
Yes.
Her autopsy report's over 26 pages long because they have to identify all these marks. And a lot of these marks on her body are pinch marks.
A Florida woman in the hot seat accused of abusing and killing her boyfriend's 9-year-old daughter, even sicking a Rottweiler on her. I go over the horrifying details of the death of Jamaria Sessions and the unbelievable interrogation of Tyshael Martin.
I just want to say I didn't cause her death. I didn't kill her. I didn't murder her. I didn't do none of that.
Jamaria Sessions was a 9-year-old girl who had family who loved her. But sadly, prosecutors in Lake County, Florida, near Orlando, say the people Jamaria lived with were not taking care of her and are responsible for her life coming to a horrific end. One of those people is Tyshael Martin, the girlfriend of Jamaria's father. A 3-hour-long interrogation of Martin with detectives in Lake County just became public because of how open records laws work in Florida. The state attorney wants Tyshael Martin put to death for Jamaria's murder. The prosecutor said Martin beat the little girl, starved her, and even
Disgusting.
sicked the family's 103-pound Rottweiler on her. Now, I know you're thinking, how does this even happen? How? Jamaria was living with her father, Jamaria Sessions, and his girlfriend, who was Tyshael Martin, in a home where authorities say she endured severe, prolonged abuse. Documents outline how this 9-year-old girl suffered repeated physical punishment, malnutrition, and even a brutal attack inflicted by that dog. A couple of weeks before Jamaria's death, her father left her and her other siblings in the care of Tyshael Martin after the couple had a heated argument and the relationship basically collapsed. On June 17th, Tyshael called 911 after finding Jamaria cold to the touch in her bed. EMTs saw a number of injuries all over Jamaria's body in various stages of healing and called the sheriff's office to investigate. That same day, Tyshael consented to a search of her cell phone, which showed messages where the prosecutor says she bragged about creative ways she
Jesus.
disciplined Jriia. After 2 full months of investigating, the Lake County Sheriff's Office had enough evidence to arrest Tyshael and bring her down to the station for questioning.
I'll go ahead and cuff you. All right? I'll explain to you in a minute. Then I'm going to pat you down.
The sad thing about this whole thing, this lady has 4 children of her own. This is sad.
I'm going to go ahead and tighten these up, okay?
I have a break at home that I can put her on.
Okay.
Put it out for the moment
All right.
on my arm.
You got anything on you?
No.
Do me a favor. Put your chest right here. I'm going to take your hat off.
Crazy.
I'm going to lift your shirt up a little bit. See your waistband? All right, we're good.
At the start of the interrogation, the detectives give Tyshael Martin a chance to come clean.
You're the only person arrested, so we kind of want to hear your story. We think that there's more people involved in this that should be sitting in the chair you're sitting with too. So I want to hear from you. What happened?
Honestly, I can't say how she passed away. When I found her, she was sleeping.
Yeah, right.
All I can say is, she did receive whoopings. The girls told me that she fell that day when I was asleep. And when I was sleeping, I did not witness that fall. I don't know how she passed. I don't know how she passed away. I honestly don't.
Yeah, you do.
How did she get the pinch marks all over her body?
I have pinched her before.
Jesus
but
Christ.
From what I saw, I didn't pinch. I didn't do all of that.
Did anybody else pinch her?
Yeah.
Who?
Dad.
Dad? When did Dad leave the house?
I want to say I believe it was Thursday. I don't know which day it was he came back because that was unannounced. Like anytime I would put him out, it would just like sneak back into the house. So I don't remember exactly which day that was. But the day that I asked him to leave, I believe was Thursday.
So you heard right there, Tyshael Martin blamed Jamaria's father, Jamaria Sessions, for the pinch marks. Prosecutors will later say that Jamaria is also to blame for his daughter's death, but I'll tell you more about that in a bit. Detectives do not believe Tyshael Martin is telling the truth, so they try a different approach.
So what kind of abuse or what kind of discipline would Lawan use on Jamaria?
What you mean, like use?
Like whoopings, timeouts?
Like she got in trouble.
Like if she got in trouble for something, what would be the recourse that Lawan would do?
I mean, initially it'll start out with maybe having to run in place, that's a lot of things that he would tell her to do, or
What is this, boot camp? Crazy.
then they would have to stand on the wall sometimes, and then it eventually resulted into a whooping.
They just wouldn't listen. Like you tell them to run in place and they would do it for a minute or two and then that would turn into a whooping, or what do you mean?
If they said that they didn't want, like told him that they didn't want to do it anymore or whatever like that, yeah, then it would turn into a whooping.
Okay. And when you said that you disciplined her, how was your discipline?
Initially, I would just contact him a lot of the times and ask him what do he prefer her do. I would honestly let him talk to her on the phone, or he would talk to her on the camera. A lot of the times he would just beep in and talk to her over the camera, and she would listen to him through there. And I whooped her before. Honestly, I yell a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I yell a lot to try to
Evidently
scare
not.
them to get my point across.
Now, this piques the interest of the detectives. They're curious about why Jamaria needed so much discipline in Tyshael's mind. The detectives ask what type of behavior justified this level of punishment.
So when you say things, what things? What were they doing? What was she
She
doing?
took peppermint oil and would put it in the girls' makeup sponges. So like
What?
peppermint.
Yeah.
She would purposely piss around the house, saying that she didn't want to go to the toilet. They were stealing the other kids' stuff, purposely just hiding it to. Basically, she knew what she was doing because she was saying, I don't want to be good like the other kids. I want to be bad. So it's like,
She's a kid.
and a lot of that stuff I had to record because it was something I never seen before.
Right. And when you say record, what were you recording? Just her behavior or her saying things or acting a certain way?
I would record, like I would try to talk to them and get an understanding, and they would like just say stuff like their mom is telling them to do those things and stuff, and I felt like I never heard a child say that before, so I would record that type of stuff so I can send to dad or just my mom or just somebody, like just be a witness of, wow, like this is what I'm going through.
Then the detectives grill Tyshael Martin on how Jamaria could have sustained so many injuries.
I understand that Jriia and Tyshael were telling me that she had sprained her ankle. How did Jamaria sprain her ankle and when?
She told me that she tripped over the dog food downstairs and she was walking in the dark in the living room.
So downstairs living room? Okay. And then how did she get the burns to her feet and her back?
Sick.
Azaria said it was from hot water from the hair.
What was she doing with the hair? I understand Ozara does hair, but I'm trying to see if you understand.
She has to dip it in hot water. And apparently she had moved or something.
Do you know about how her lip got busted or her teeth got broken out of her mouth?
I thought it was from the treadmill
Why do you think it was the treadmill?
because that's what I believe she told Azaria that.
But detectives already know why Jamaria had those injuries. Vivint Home Security provided detectives with 2,828 videos from both the interior and exterior of the family's home, and the detectives asked Martin about those videos.
You know, and there's another video too of her running in place. You had her running in place, and then for whatever reason, you kick her from behind and she trips over the bag of dog food. That's when she sprained her ankle. I mean, that's because the next video with her in it, she's wearing an ankle wrap. It fits. There's no video of her wandering through the downstairs living room, tripping over a bag of dog food. There's a video of her proceeding wearing a wrap on her foot, of her running in place and you kicking her and her falling over a bag of dog food. So it's kind of a half truth, and that's.
If she sprung her ankle at that time, I did not know.
No, that's fine. But I'm telling you that you kicked her over a bag of dog food and she may have sprained her ankle at that time, right? But there's no video of her wandering around the room. I mean, I will tell you this, that your cameras are top notch. We got 2,820 videos that I had to go through.
Wow.
And it captured
Good.
a lot inside your home. I know that LaJuan doesn't know the door code to your door. I know that because there's so many videos of him standing outside like an idiot, waiting on someone to open the door for him.
But that was before we just got it. We just recently got it done, and he was the one that had to be there with the guy to program everything.
I also know that he stood in front of your door on several occasions like an idiot, not knowing the code. I also know every time your doors were open and when they were closed. I have every video of every person that's been in your house. From the pest control guy that you canceled when your mom was there, to LaJuan, to Deshara's boyfriend and Denai's boyfriend they snuck in, from them smoking weed to them drinking alcohol, and I have all of that.
Right. I mean, he told me that he's the one that set the code for the front door. The side door, he don't have the code for that. He didn't have the code for that one.
Spends a lot of time outside standing in front of the door looking like an idiot for someone that has a code.
My whole thing is, why weren't you abusing your own damn kids? Why did you take it out on Jamaria Sessions? That's crazy.
Maybe the chain was on the door.
That's why I wanted to talk with you, though. You can see you spent 2.5 months figuring out what happened. The videos, texts, reports from Carnival. I wanted to ask you why. And you're kind of disclosing some of that. What was going through your head? Who else is involved? Are you the only person who should be sitting in that seat, or should someone else be? Is there a reason behind this?
Just don't
Is there an
think
explanation?
that it's nothing that I did physically that could have caused her death. That's just,
Yeah.
I mean, I know what he told me, so that's what, I was leaning more towards, but,
What who told you?
well, not me, but told her. He, basically let her know that he was going to kill her. So, I mean, I didn't know if that was a scare tactic or what, but I honestly...
So what do you think
nothing
LaJuan
that could
did?
have caused her to die.
What do you think LaJuan did?
I don't know.
Well, you see the marks on her.
Right.
Who caused those marks? You, LaJuan, someone else?
I mean, I feel like
Everyone?
LaJuan did.
You feel like he did, or you know he did?
Only other people it could be is my kids, and I know they didn't do that.
Now, these videos are not available to the public because the case is still pending. It hasn't gone to trial yet. And frankly, they sound so horrific that we probably wouldn't be able to show them to you anyway. A probable cause affidavit says 95 videos were deleted that were captured on and specific to June 12th, 2024 by a single user on the account. Additionally, this detective observed 6 video files dated June 15th, 2024, approximately 2350 to 2357 hours, which shows Jamaria Sessions being viciously attacked by the family pet, a 103-pound Rottweiler, as Jamaria was just out of frame. However,
You can see these people are crazy, okay? This Tyshael is crazy, and the father, LaJuan, he's also crazy. That you could do this to a little girl. Something is mentally wrong with you.
Tyshael Martin could be seen holding the leash of the dog and is heard encouraging the dog to bite Jamaria Sessions as Jamaria laid on the floor, ending with Jamaria Sessions attempting to stand up in the doorway, coming into frame. The next clip shows Jamaria Sessions staggering nude and disheveled.
And just so you know, she had a laceration behind her ear that looked like it was caused by a dog bite. So across her head, she had a bite mark here and a part mark here where he grabbed her across the back of her head. When that incident occurred, that you said was you and Ozaria and Jamaria in that room, did 7 bite her?
I'm not that I know of.
Okay. Were you telling the dog to bite her? Because that's what it sounds like in the video.
Yes,
You're
you
holding
were.
the dog back with a leash. I'm going to let you get her. I'm going to let you get her.
No. I probably use it as a scare tactic or something like, go, but nothing, no, heck no.
Okay. So how did she have a puncture behind her ear?
I didn't see. I'm not aware of that. I didn't know anything about
And when
that.
she did, she got a bump straight from behind her ear and across the side of her face was like a big dog bite. And said it was a big dog.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Is there anything else you think we should know that we didn't ask you?
I mean, I just want to say I didn't cause her death. I didn't kill her. I didn't murder her. I didn't do none of that.
Now back to that affidavit and more of what detectives said the video showed from the late evening of June 15th into the early morning hours of June 16th. Jamaria's hair, previously in a partial bun, was now messy, and her extensions were falling out of her hair. It appeared that the dog had bitten the child's head, pulling at her hair at the command of Tyshael Martin. Following this clip, Jamaria Sessions is commanded to stand in the room with her arms up by Tyshael Martin. Jamaria Sessions exhibited an orbital sway, appearing to be disoriented, similar to being intoxicated, and leaned forward to pick up a blanket to cover herself. This prompted Tyshael Martin to deliver a kick to the rear of the child,
Jesus
causing
Christ.
her to collapse to the floor. The child lay motionless, moaning in pain, as Tyshael Martin continued to kick her hip and eventually her stomach area at full force.
These people are crazy. You do this to a child? Where do you come up with this crazy stuff?
Jamaria, according to this affidavit, couldn't get up. It sounds like she was being tortured. It continues. When the child did not get up, Tyshael Martin then grabbed the child by her hair, pulling her across the floor with minimal resistance by Jamaria Sessions, who appeared to be disoriented and motionless. The child was dragged near the stairs, which is where the dog attack occurred, which was just out of frame. Tyshael Martin continued to command the child, Jamaria Sessions, to stand up,
Sick.
and as Jamaria could not physically comply, Jamaria was repeatedly shaken by Tyshael Martin. The next video clip begins with Tyshael Martin stating what sounds like, "I'm fixin' to kill her." Jamaria Sessions likely
Poor baby.
died in the overnight hours of June 16th. Despite the video evidence, Martin said this to detectives.
I can honestly say I didn't abuse her. I mean,
What is that?
I wouldn't let her dad deal with her. I probably had times
What is this?
like that, I would say.
That's
There was
abuse.
times-
Is that not abuse?
Now, Jamaria wasn't Tyshael Martin's biological daughter, but she was her main caregiver. Detectives wonder why she hasn't asked about how the little girl died.
But you never asked the whole interview how she died.
Exactly.
Because when I have, everyone just don't tell me anything.
But you haven't asked.
I asked her.
So,
I was saying, like, I didn't know how she passed away and stuff.
so she died from her injuries. So it's kind of like it's kind of like death by 1,000 cuts. You ever heard of that? Like you get a little paper cut and it doesn't kill you, right? You get a lot of them. Well, then now your immune system's jacked up because it has to fix these
Well, she don't seem upset at all.
things. It requires energy from your body, so you break down muscle, which breaks down proteins that go in your kidney. It's a whole thing, right? And then she has all these injuries that are staggered historically long. So she's been whipped, she's been pinched, she's been punched, teeth broken, bit in the back of the head by a dog,
Wow.
possibly. She has all these injuries that her little body is trying to fix, right? All at one time. It's a lot. And then she's not given nutrition. She's not given proper amounts of water. She's not given proper amounts of food. And we know this because during the autopsy, we empty their stomachs. We check their bladders. I know what color her urine is. Her urine looked like coffee. And she had so little fluids in her body that we barely didn't get enough blood because her body didn't have enough hydration. So we know she was dehydrated. We know she wasn't fed. And we know she has all these injuries that she's trying to recover from.
During the interrogation, Tyshael Martin reveals what Jamaria did that day to upset her.
I'm tired of talking to you. Listen, do what you're supposed to do. A lot of times I just felt like I was the one protecting her, for her to turn around and not listen to me when I'm the one keeping you protected from your dad. So I did have moments that I did react to being tired of her not listening to me.
Do you remember what she had not listened to on that day?
That's what I was trying to think of. I think it was the fact that she was being sexual. I think it was the sexual thing that made me react like that, because I felt like she's too little of a girl to be talking about and asking my older girls about sex and asking them why they want to take penis and they and stuff like that. I just probably was overwhelmed with all of that.
Finally, Tyshael Martin asks what she's being charged with, and what the detectives tell her surprises her.
Am I able to call my mom?
Yeah, we'll be able to call your mom. We have to get you booked in, and you can definitely call your mom.
And what do you say I'm being charged with?
Premeditated murder, first degree,
Good.
which is the top. And then there's aggravated child abuse. And then,
Why am I being charged with premeditated murder?
well, because some of the statements that you made, while you were attacking Jamaria about killing her.
Scare tactics.
Scare tactics was also premeditation. It's scare tactics, and then
And
if you
it's
say
crazy.
it and then it happens, what does that look like?
It's crazy because I only said that because he said that, and I was just repeating to her what the dad said.
I get it, but if you say, I'm going to kill you, and then the child's dead the next day from injuries caused potentially by you, what does that look like?
Exactly.
Looks bad, but that's not what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, do you think that you're at all accountable for her death? In your heart?
I mean, when you say accountable, I feel like I probably could have did more to, possibly prevent things from happening. But the situation, me dealing with my kids, me having a certain way I deal with my kids, this is your certain way of how you deal with your kids, me not wanting to interfere and cause more trouble. And then on top of the threats, I do feel like I could have possibly done more. As far as her coming to her death, I don't feel like I'm accountable for that.
LaJuan Sessions, Jamaria's father, is charged with aggravated manslaughter of a child in her death. An affidavit says he was complicit in the abuse and did nothing to protect her. The affidavit states, in text message conversations between LaJuan and Tyshael, which lasted weeks, they often joked about the abuse, made comments about boot camp, and creating a torturous environment in which Jamaria would suffer long sessions of extreme exercise and extreme physical abuse, far beyond traditional corporal punishment. Both Tyshael Martin and LaJuan Sessions are being held in the Lake County Jail as they await trial. Prior to Jamaria's death, Florida DCF received complaints about her well-being, even requesting a welfare check at one point, but no deputy was sent, and the case was closed without action. And one of the saddest parts about this case, Jriia was actually in the custody of her maternal grandmother after her mother passed away when LaJuan Sessions was in prison. After he was released, he took custody of Jriia from her grandmother.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.